One thing about luck, it will run out, but the blessing will stay with you. And you know what he was doing? We found out that as the movie went on in Dark Knight, that the coin he was flipping was one-sided. It was always, both sides was head. You understand? So he always won. And so you got to understand, you got to know how to trick the realm of the Spirit to work in your behalf. Even though Jacob stole Esau's birthright, God still blessed him even though he was a trickster. Now, the blessing of God can flow on your life even if you are a liar. Because the blessing flowed on the life of Judas until he decided to go outside of where he was working. When he stepped outside and said, listen, I will betray Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Then he lost his life. Do you know that money will cause you to sign your own death certificate? The love of it. When you fall into money so much where you can't lose it, then it will bind you to the spirit of death because you haven't conquered your greed. You got to be able to weigh both decisions fairly, equally, and justly. See, and one thing about Esau, even though Esau tricked his father knew who he was. Because he said the voice sounds like Jacob, but it feels like Esau. So here's how you get into the realm of the Spirit and trick the Spirit. You got to trick the Spirit by not what the Spirit hears, but what is the Spirit feeling from you. So you don't see, I'm dealing with the mystery now. I'm dealing with church. I'm dealing with the mystery. See, when you deal with the mystery, you step outside of traditional church. When you deal with the mystery, you step outside of what tradition has said. Let me give you a mystery. There were 3 men on the cross, am I right? One man said to Jesus, you know what, I believe you. Jesus said, you're going to be in paradise with me. Another man said, you know what, let him bring himself down. He died and went to a place that we don't want to go to. I don't even want to mention the place. But let me show you the mystery. What if the thief on the cross, the one that said, I'll be with you in paradise, what was that? What if that was your future? What if the thief on the cross that denied Jesus, what if that was your future? And what if the 3 of them represent the mind of God in the realm of the Spirit, and God was trying to show man that he was double-minded? Knowing that a double-minded person is like a wave driven with the wind and tossed to and fro. So now you have to deal with the contradictory within your own self. Because there's something pulling you to the truth, but at the same time there's something pulling you to your past. But the same thing that's pulling you to the truth and pulling you to the past is all connected in you. Your lungs are connected. Your heart is connected to your spine. So what you need to do is line your spine and your heart and your kidneys, and everything will flow right. Everything in your body is connected to your spine, your nervous system. That's why you need to go to the chiropractor and have hands laid on. See, there's another type of hands. He's just not talking about the laying on of hands. When you go on masseuse, you're having your hands laid on. Let's deal with the mystery of it. We think that laying on of hands is just anointing a person with oil all of this. Come here, son, let me show you what the church is doing. This is what the church is really doing. Hey! He still got the devil in it. The minister ain't got no power. He ain't got no power. And he just stay falling down. And we're going to talk the church how to lay down. We're going to talk the church how to function in religion. And now we got our kids running around here. Come on, son. Tradition binds you. And tradition will stop the blessing on your life. Now, just because there's a denomination, every denomination runs in tradition, but it doesn't mean that the church, you can be a church in a denomination, but not flowing in denominationalism. I'll prove it to you. As traditional as some churches are, when you go around the country, and we go to these different churches, especially Church of God in Christ, there ain't nothing like Los Angeles. Nothing. Los Angeles just is free. Yeah, they got some tradition, but not like that old time stuff. You got to break yourself out of the habit. That's why page 17. That's why you have to be able to weigh everything. Go back, read. This is where
the biggest hurt comes from in our lives. We do not hold our peace. Jesus never said a mumbling word.
We got to stop mumbling. Got to stop complaining. Read it.
Go back to the battle on Skid Row. Matthew 16:2. How Jesus must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things.
Read it.
2 Timothy 2:12. If we suffer, endure with him, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us. 2 Timothy 3:12. Yea, and all
that will live godly in Christ shall suffer persecution. Now, there's some things or some hardships that you will go through, but your suffering will never meet the magnitude of the New Testament church. Suffering. You could suffer emotionally. You could suffer. Suffering could be someone going into the hospital that is dear to you. That could be a type of suffering. Not having a place to stay for a season could be a type of suffering. Not having a car could be a type of suffering. Not having a job could be a type of suffering. Your suffering cannot compare to the suffering of the traditional church because nobody is dying